From the Excel Energy Center in downtown St. Paul, this is a QCTV sports presentation. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs, and this is the 2023 Minnesota State High School quarterfinal playoffs coming your way for the state tournament on a snowy morning here in downtown St. Paul. Welcome everyone, and we are getting set as announcements are being made. Starting lineups: the Huskies come in with a mark of 25-3. Rosemount comes in with a record of 15-11-2. Again, Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs, and Jim, quite a matchup in terms of how these teams pair up and how they got here.
Yeah, and the Rosemont Irish coming in with, like you mentioned, a 15-11-3, champions of Section 3A. A big overtime victory over Creighton Durham Hall in a 3-2 victory, OT victory for the sectional final. A little bit different for the Huskies. Huskies champions of Section 7 2A, 11-1 victory over the Grand Rapids Greenway Lightning, and really kind of dismantled that team. So Huskies, a lot of experience coming in. Rosemont, the first time that they've been here since 2011.
Meanwhile, the Huskies again come in with that high-octane, horsepower-type offense. They have scored 166 goals. And Jim, Rosemont has put up how many goals?
They have put up 77 goals. You know, what's interesting is they made the state tournament with a negative goal differential. They scored 77, allowed 78. So while the Huskies on the other side have a plus 134. So weighted heavily to the Huskies coming into the game, on paper at least.
It is, in fact, and of course, that first period has always been kind of setting the tempo for the Huskies over the past few years, and this year is no different. They did it in section play against Grand Rapids. They jumped out to a 2-0 lead, thanks in part also to a beautiful penalty shot save made by Stagman, but they went out 2-0 there. On the season, they have outscored their opponents, have the Huskies, in that first period, 61-8. But this year is kind of a hit-to-switch year again. A lot of experience, a lot of seniors, and a chance here as they are going to now play the national anthem. We are set here to drop the puck, but first let's go through today's starting lineup. And Jim, why don't you get us a look here for the Andover Huskies?
Yeah, nothing new. It's Issa Gettle, Ella Berger, and Madison Brown up front. Senior line, just an incredible all-state line. Keelan Mumm and Courtney Little back on defense, and the seniors, Courtney Stagman, who will be in net with a 25-3 record. We'll get into her stats later on. Career state win number 70 against Grand Rapids Greenway.
Meanwhile, getting it going today for the Rosemount Irish. On the forwards and up front will be at center in that first line is Sophie Stramal. She picked up the game-winning goal in the double overtime and that win over Creighton Durham Hall. She had 2 goals and an assist in that game. On the season, she has 14 goals, 19 assists. Anna Schandorf leading that left wing, 13 goals, 16 assists. And Cece Hansen will be at the right wing. On defense, you got to keep an eye out for number 42, Kayla Bartle. She can shoot that puck, has a laser. They get it to her on that power play as often as they can. And then Zoe Junker is on the right defense. In goal tonight will be Natalie Kenhammer. Kenhammer made 21 of 23 saves in the section final. And on the season, a very impressive 2.04 goals against average. And a team that they're going to have to earn those goals with here in that first period. And the head coach there, Kyle Finn, Jennifer Williams, and also the Huskies led by Coach Volk with 209 wins. Off the face-off, they have just dropped a puck. This is audio only. Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs. Thanks for joining us from the Excel Energy Center in downtown St. Paul. Gettle has it at the blue line. A delayed offside here as they wait for Berger to get back on track. Now on the near side, Gettle disrupts as they try to bring it out. And Berger digs at it as well. Three of them, the whole three first line on that blue line. Gettle sets it up. Berger on the doorstep. Drop pass that time. It looked like Berger maybe had a good shot, but a selfless play on her part. Trying to work it out. It's Gettle who sends it into the high slot. Looking for that loose change is Berger. Her shot just goes wide of the mark. Coming out buzzing for the Huskies. Would you expect less? And Trent poking, prodding, trying to get at it on the doorstep into blue is Brown looking for a chance to poke that in, but we'll get a face-off. And I'll tell you, Ken Hammer kind of had a chance to see what this high-octane, fastest show on ice is like.
Yeah, absolutely. And like you mentioned, Berger had an opportunity to go to the backhand. She's good with that. She in the low slot, tried to get it over to Madison Brown. And then they had numerous other opportunities down low.
61-8. That's what the Huskies have done in the first period against their opponents all season. Sections have even been better in terms of goals. There's a shot and a goal. A score right off the far point. A quick wrister that found its way through, and I think Sauer's going to get credit for this goal. And again, disruption in front of the goal, and they just find a way to hit that switch. Here it goes to the far point, and a good look. That is Sauer. Sauer's going to get credit. Probably not one of her hardest shots, but location. It'll be Nora Sauer's 15th goal of the season, and Andover jumps up top here just a minute in with a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, just a 5-hole shot right under the Rosemont goalie, and a nice tip as the shot came in from Mac Jones.
Keep that second line on there with Christensen, Sauer, and Maya Engler. That's been a very productive line. Always good to get production on this first, second, and now this third line is coming out next here. Shot rims off the glass, back to the far point. Mac Jones sends one in that deflects, trying to reach for it there was Christensen, but now trying to carry out the defense, unable to do so. The Huskies have not allowed the Irish out of their own end until now, and this is going to be an ice.
Yeah, and they just needed to change. They had been under duress for the first minute and 51 seconds as the Huskies' first and second line came out flying, as you mentioned. I think the Irish are really going to have to deal with the speed and the physicality that the Huskies bring that they probably have not seen this season.
I'll say one other thing. It's the hard shots. They can fire the biscuit. I mean, when they take hard shots and wrist shots, they come at a different level of velocity than a lot of other teams, and I think that goes understated many times. And we've had a chance, Jim, throughout the season to see a variety of different teams and just how flustered some of those goaltenders can get. There's a deflect on a shot from the near point just off the stick that time, and guided by McQuaid. It leaks out just through neutral ice. Thanks for everyone for joining us on this QCTV audio-only presentation. We'll catch you up with the video shortly after this game as well. This is the quarterfinals for the 2022-23 quarterfinal state tournament. 1-0 lead. Or is it for the Andover Huskies, as they still haven't put the goal up? Back behind. They'll work it up and down the ice. Inside now, working. Here's a chance for that first line. Cece Hansen trying to get something going. Moving in to pull the trigger on a shot. Shandorf centering the tap here and cleared out. Up ice, lofted there by Piper. She hits it up. Collision occurs, and now skating back with the puck. You get a look there. A team that can be physical if need be as well. And Cece Hansen, kind of one of those physical players, along with Sophie Stramel. Stramel again, team leading goals with 14 and 19 assists. Back in now. Huskies trying to do some work on a tip there by Brown. 1-0 lead for the Huskies here in the first period. 13:30 to go. It took a while for them to put that goal up on the scoreboard. And now we're set. Brown gains the line, puts a wrister, top of the face-off circle, deflects. She's going to try to hunt that down. Zunker is there with her, Zoe Junker. It's lifted back. No ice hasn't gone far enough back. And Little picks it up there. Courtney Little, 7 goals, 18 assists for the junior. And she'll try to move it up and out. It's clogged in, now carrying up and in. This is as Holzer who comes in. Holzer puts a shot on. And reflection sent to the far point. Here's Gettle. 2-on-1 opportunity now for Andover. It's Gettle. Berger across. One-timer misses and goes just to the wide. Berger not quite getting everything on that one. Here's a shot from the near point just inside the blue line and a hard wrister. And having trouble handling it, but coming up and making that save certainly was Kent Hammer.
Yeah, that breakout coming out, the great breakout pass from Delich up to Gettle. And Berger just went off the base of her stick right as that pass came across ice from Gettle.
Off the face-off controlled here, Huskies. Ringing it around, Mac Jones at the half wall. Rosemount tries to clear. They do. It leaks just beyond the blue line, but circling it with the puck is Sauer, who has the first goal of the game today and brings it behind the boards. Working it on the end boards now. It moves to the corner. Andover trying to elevate that lead they have already with 12:20 to go in the first. Mac Jones starts down towards the corner. Now reverses ice. Top of the face-off circle. A wrister here by Avery, or Kasich rather. And this goes off the mark. And that one blocked up front. A couple of good jobs of blocking that shot by the Irish. Forcing back now to the corner is Sundgren. Sundgren tried to work it up, but cannot get it out. Again, it's just a vice grip and that pressure that the Huskies are putting on the Irish as they begin the attack each and every time. Straddling the blue line, winding up with this blast. That was Christensen. It's deflected. It goes to the half wall, trying to clear. Finally, the Huskies bring it back out to center ice, and they'll reset.
Yeah, nice job by the Huskies on just staying up.
Shot coming in there, save and breaking her own stick that time was Sauer. She went in for that shot. She just veered right in, cut in front, and a beautiful save made by Ken Hammer. Back the other way. Here comes Rosemount. The Irish trying to counter. A quick wrister, low side on the save made. And kicked to the near corner. Again by Stagman. This eludes the stick up top. And chance to kind of get possession there by McQuay, and we get a whistle.
Yeah, Shandoff with a nice little wrister, pad save by Stagman. No stranger to the XL Energy Center. This is her 10th game here, along with the other seniors. Their 4th straight trip to the XL Energy Center. We'll get into stats later on. We've got to pick up a broken stick, Nora Sauer's broken stick. I'm sure her parents are pretty happy about that $200 piece of equipment that was not useful anymore.
Huskies on that first line, 79 goals is what they produced this season. And meanwhile, 36 goals for the Rosemont Irish for their first line. Back out now, and a chance as they try to send it in. That's the Irish. Get it across center ice. That's Bartle. Andover gets there first behind the net.
Yeah, a nice breakout by Gettle, getting it up, and Berger right at the red line through center dumps it down. Brown and Gettle give chase as they're able to get there. Gettle now with the pass back behind, back out to Brown. Brown's route in front. She's got Berger just trolling out front, and Rosemont unable to get out. There's a scrum that goes out in the corner between Gettle and one of the defensemen. I think we have a penalty coming to probably both skaters, Gettle and the defenseman for Rosemont.
And Jim, we made a quick change there on the fly as well. That was well done, as getting through a little cough and bug anyway, and so he picked me up and got it through. So it will be. It's going to be Gettle getting the gate, and Snippus will get the gate. Jessica for Rosemont.
Gettle, I love her attitude on the ice, man. She has just got the right mentality out there to be able to just be a pest out there, and she does a great job of it. Great hockey player. Going to miss her.
They will skate 5 aside on this coincidental reminder. Off the face-off, controlled by Finn, coach's daughter. Again, just in 7th grade. There's a shot from outside the blue line. It wasn't a quick catch and release. It was a kind of a catch and eventually release. Now moving it up is Erickson. Maggie Erickson gets it across the red line in center ice. And then they just tried to golf it deep. And that was Shandorf taken away now by the Huskies. Moving it in. They have that second line on right now. Christensen posing in along with Engler. Out there as well on the doorstep, trying to poke and prod it there is Christensen as she attempts to force that puck across the blue line, and locking it up for the save there is Kenthammer. Again, Kenthammer comes into the record of 9-6 and a goals against of 2.04 save percentage, 9-15 and 3 shutouts.
Yeah, you talk about that first line, very impressive, but you also have 34 goals on the second line for the Huskies as well. They are talented and deep.
At center ice now off the face-off, bringing it from the corner. There's Rosemount back on the stick here for the Huskies. That's Thorson trying to pinch it between the glass and hold the zone. She does. And now Rosemont tries to go quickly reverse back to the same way they came back up on the near side. But it's Little who holds the zone, puts a shot on. It's deflected out front by McQuay, and it finds its way to the goalie for another save. Shots on goal, 4-2 or 5-2 now here in the first.
McQuay has definitely had a couple of scoring opportunities, getting your chances on third line, and really the second, third lines are really the topping on the cake as for scoring. If you can get some out of them, that's outstanding. You have a good chance of winning. Mom's
been dialing up some offensive pressure as well. She's just a pure solid blue liner, but also has a heck of a shot. And she hasn't ringing along. Will whistle the offside here as they feel Andover quickly brought it in and out offside. So again, a big win for Rosemont. The Irish defeated Cretin-Durham Hall in the section final. 3AA. An overtime game win, 3-2. And 38 seconds into the second OT is when Stramal scored the winning goal. The walk-off now behind Andover, tries to set up here. And not much time left on the Coincidental Miners as well, so we'll get Gittle back on the ice as well. Pinching in. Kasich trying to dig at it, crossed at it, now back half wall, backhander right on the stick of Brown, and that one is swayed away, turning around, trying to pull the trigger on that shot. Just wide of the mark there for the Huskies. I think that was Olsen with that on shot here by Berger. Beautiful feed. He made the save, and then it hits the netting, and a great quick cut by Berger, and Berger setting all kinds of records also this season.
Yeah, she has, and really an impressive career with the Huskies before she goes to St. Thomas. Gettle is off the ice. Hannah Olsen out there in place of Gettle. Had a chance to light the lamp as a freshman.
We're at the midway mark here of this first period. Andover has struck early on the goal by Sauer. Sauer now sends it to the far point. A shot here hits traffic. Settling it is Christensen. She was just about to take the shot. It was ripped off her stick and deflected up ice. And Rosemount trying to get a good quality look here so far, but the Huskies have come out with that speed and that velo complete around the way here. Backvine defensively, it was Angelotti. Had a look there. Now Christensen circles in her own end, tries to pass it to herself off the board. That first line back out there again for Rosemont. That's Cece Hansen who took the puck away. Now lifts it back and forced in. Chance in a bracketed defensive play there. As coming in with a burst of speed was Little, who stepped in front of a pass, but then blew a tire as she tried to make a cut. Holding to the blue line and still holding a wrister. The shot is saved, and now it's going to be Christensen as they head to the bench on a quick fly as they try to regroup the lines. The penalties are complete. Gettle back out there as well, or back and out of the box. So that means they're trying to sort out those lines and get it back into the flow. It was 7 and change to go here in the first period. Thanks for joining us. Race to the puck ensues here. That's diffused by a nice effort there by Delage. And moving it up ice again. And back out. McQuay misses on the pass as it hopped the stick there of Thorson. on the backhand, the neutral zone. There's Rosemont. They try to get it going. Diffused by some good defensive play there by the Huskies. Now carrying in is Andrew. Shot from just above the dot. Stick save. Big guy to the corner. Follow-up shot here. And that works around to the half wall opposite side. Huskies trying to get that flow back in it. And Piper Andrews been doing a lot of work on this particular shift. Rosemont content with sending it out to center ice and not having the control. Then they're going to dump and chase, and they're going to be whistled here for the ice, as that last dump and chase was from behind center ice.
Yeah, Piper Andrews for the Huskies. Well, she is just unassuming shot that just about went in, as it was headed for the near side part of the nets, and a good save by Kendhammer.
Well, there's certainly a culture that Melissa Vogt, the head coach in her 10th season, has certainly instilled, and so everyone tries to outwork one another. And that's just a brand, an expectation that she has in the standard of the play. That ensues, followed with that speed of play. And when you practice that way and you play that way, it becomes a habit. And I'll tell you, that's part of the reason they've had such success here over the course of the last 5-6 seasons as well. Circling back, nice navigating by Kasich. Drop pass now put on the stick of Berger. She tries to give it back. There's Gettle. Gettle drops it far side there for Mum. Mum punches it in front all alone. Brown, a shot, turns and stonewalled. Beautiful save. Turned away there by Kendhammer. Now on the back door, Gettle between the legs was trying to take a shot, and they're getting some good looks now as they could keep that pace and keep moving that puck. Rotation around, quick movement now up top. Shot, save is made. A shot from just inside the blue line. Brown circles back, half wall. Still that first line back out there. They're buzzing. Big shot again. This time from Little, makes it all the way through. A pad save to the corner. Still with it. Goes Little on the rebound, drops it to the doorstep to Brown. She tried to stuff it in on the back door. That was a save by Kendhammer again. Kendhammer just kidding. Some fantastic saves. And here's one from Mac Jones that's lifted and deflected to the corner. A weave behind the net. This is Gettle. Gettle trying to find an opening. Finally has put on the stick of Rosemont, and they move it up back into the Huskies' end of the ice. 4:45 to go here in the first period. It's still a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Rosemont got caught with their third line against their first line, and the Huskies took advantage of it with, I think they got probably 8 or 9 shots on goal because it was pretty close shots. Now it's 13-2. So,
yeah, that was, I don't know what the next layer of pepper is, or pepper or buzzing or just.
Yeah, Roseville's lucky to get out of that one with just a no goals. And to be honest, the later we go into this game, the more Rosemont is going to feel like they've got a chance to be part of, of the competition.
Well, it's also a chance because you get a chance to see teams play here. Andover as they're back in play, send it to the corner of Rosemont, but you can see the speed of the Huskies tends to take effect on a lot of teams. That's your top few in the state here, but teams that haven't played a lot with Andover, and they start to feel that effect of the Andover factor and speed mid to late second period. We'll see if it plays a role here for the Irish as they are down 1-0. They try to move it to the point. They had some sustained pressure there, but now moved out and back on the stick here for the Huskies. Looking right, then it trickles to the left off the stick of Christensen, moving it up half wall, and now trying to peel it off the wall to get the pressure. Mum tries to come in and close it up and hold the zone, but it's sent back in to the Husky end of the ice, where Stagman will touch the puck after the whistle call. And Stagman, again, last week, it's just the layers of success, Jim, with this team. Yeah. That save she had on that penalty shot in the first period that could have tied it, and that was Bishop, Mercury Bishop, with 44 goals on the season for Grand Rapids.
Yeah, the sophomore has she's got like 140 goals for her career, and she's a sophomore, and Stagman stonewalled her.
Mom up top, now to high slot there, poking, prodding, Gettle there, tries to wrap it around and send it to somebody out front. A shot from that far point, deflects on the doorstep. There's Brown trying to lift it with the backhand over the top, poking, prodding, and a goal for Ellenberger and Andover. Has jumped out with another score, and they jump out 2-0 with 3:24 to go. here in this first period. They just worked at it from the beginning. Brown had it, and then Berger came over to take over.
Yeah, it was in the crease. It looked like it was under Kendhammer. I'm sure some of the coaches are going to ask why it wasn't. And we're getting the replay right here, and they're just hammering away at that puck. There's 3 of them. Gettle ends up in the net as well. Great tenacity by the Huskies.
I guess that's what you call kind of a triangulating close, as all 3 of them came in on the top of that. And it almost looked like a curling event where maybe it went over the line on the shot and the try by Brown. We'll get clarification on the goal, but all you need to know right now, a 2-0 lead here in this quarterfinal matchup against the Irish. And Andover out to that lead as they come looking for a third goal here, as we're just under 3 now to play in this opening period.
Yeah, just Berger's 7th goal of the state tournament. Ellenberger gets the goal.
Back in action here. Jim will get the assist and everything else back. Then hopping the stick of Thorson at that far point. Here come the Irish. Irish trying to make something happen. Snippus has it. Goes to that far wall and sends a shot to the low slot. But now on the stick of Andover and McQuaid. Across the blue line. Ripped back in here by the Irish. And by defense Junker. And up they come across ice. Stepping in front of that pass was Bortle, and we're going to get a tripping penalty called on Andover as they came up to try to intercept that pass, and Bortle got there first. Kayla Bortle for the Irish, and then she went down. Huskies whistled for the tripping penalty there first, and we're going to get a look at the Rosemount Irish power play here in this first period with 2:18 to go.
Yeah, they come in with a 14.3% power play, 9 goals in 63 attempts. One thing of note, the Huskies have 14 shorthanded goals, so they have outscored the power play unit for Rosemont this season.
Top goal power play getter here is Shandorf. She has 4 power play goals, number 12 for Rosemont. Across the blue line, getting it in, trying to set up that power play. Huskies will get there first. That's a little. She'll ring it along the board, but holding the zone at the near point. Done here by this C.C. Hansen. Back to the house. That's Aubrey Hansen who knocks it down below. Maya Engler there trying to move it and feed it along. Mac Johnson is collided on, loses the puck, and now it's Rosemont again. Circling back inside the blue line. They control. A doorstep and looking for that backdoor feed, just couldn't connect. A nice look as Shandorf had that puck disrupted. And I think someone may have lifted her stick or tipped that puck before it got to her stick defensively for the Huskies.
Yeah.
Huskies send it back length of the ice now with 1 minute left on the power play.
Yeah, Mac Jones with a great defensive play on that back door, and she was the one back there.
Shorthanded looks here again. That's nothing new, as Jim mentioned. 14 shorthanded goals on the season. That exceeds the amount of power play goals that the Irish have. Berger gets a look, tries to send it low under the garage door, and a pad save made there by Kendhammer. The Huskies really look at a chance to attack, and the player goes down, no penalty. They're going to skate on. Just 30 seconds left on the power play here for the Irish. As Andover takes it back in their end of the ice, Kaylin Mumm rings it back to the corner. Now giving chase coming in is Sauer. She has 1 of the 2 goals for Andover here in this first period. Cross ice, set up here. Now just 10 seconds left on the power play for the Irish. Caroms to the corner. Huskies and Kasich tracking her behind the net. Heads back out, back at full strength now is Andover. And the puck leaks just beyond the blue line as Gettle comes out of the penalty box. Trying to get a quick break with those fresh legs and a free puck, but unable to. Dismantled there, and the Huskies are back in their own end. Mumm sends it to Kasich, and Kasich will hold on to it, and we are at the end of 1 complete. 2-0 lead for the Andover Huskies in this quarterfinal matchup of the Girls State High School Tournament from the Excel Energy Center. And Jim, the goals here again in that first period for Andover.
Yeah, Berger gets the second goal with assists from Madison Brown. The first goal scored by Nora Sauer. It was assisted by Hannah Christensen and Mac Jones. Very, very good start for the Huskies. Outshot them 20-2. But more importantly, the power play, the Huskies got off 2 shots shorthanded, and the Rosemont Irish did not get off anything during that power play.
Hey, well, welcome to the best show on ice, Andover Girls Hockey, coming your way on QCTV, audio only. This is the 2022-23 quarterfinal girls state high school tournament coming your way. I'm Joe Rilland along with Jim Childs. Period 2 is coming your way shortly. Well, it may be snowing outside, or perhaps it's not any longer. We are here at the Xcel Energy Center where it's not snowing inside, but pucks are flying as the Andover Huskies have a 2-0 lead over the Rosemount Irish. And Jim, let's take a look at some of those stats from that first half. And you had mentioned a lot of shots were flying here in the first period.
Yeah, and the great part about state hockey is we get some up-to-date stats, and not only with the stats that we have, but goals 2-0. Obviously, the Huskies up by 2 shots on goal, 20-2 shot attempts. So shot attempts is the amount of times the Huskies or Irish took a shot on, 36-5. Penalties 2-1 in favor of the Huskies. That ended up with a power play kill for the extra penalty kill for the Huskies. Faceoffs 1, Huskies 10, the Rosemont Irish 6. And as far as blocked shots, we've got that switched around. It actually is 1-9, and that was my fault there. As the Irish have blocked 9 shots so far, which is an impressive number, Joe, considering you're only in the first period.
Well, and you know what? They needed to block those because they were throttling some lasers that were transpiring in that first period, and if all of them had gotten through to the goalie, I'm sure they would eclipsed even 3 or 4 goals. So they either put their bodies in front of them or sticks, and good job of blocking. As you can see, Berger here picked up the second of 2 goals for the Huskies. As you mentioned, Jim, at the beginning, the Huskies have outscored their opponents 166-32, and that's almost double the amount of offensive output for the Irish on the season, in which they've been outscored 77-78.
Some historic numbers also, Joe. Ella Berger's 7th goal in the state tournament format at the Xcel Energy Center. She has got 13 career points. And Nora Sauer with her 2nd goal, career goal at Xcel. And some other, Isa Gettle has got 8 points coming in. Madison Brown, that'll be her 4th point at the state tournament. And 10 games for Gettle and Berger, along with Stegman.
And Gettle teetering on that all-time assist record
for
Andover. And pretty impressive numbers. I know a lot of that numbers set by Hemp for one of those. They're a target now, including for goals scored, in which Ella Berger is closing up on one as well.
Yeah, she's got 111 goals coming in. Peyton Hemp 118. Of course, Hemp a star at the University of Minnesota right now. I had a chance to see her during the Hall of Fame game up at Andover. Joe, you and I got a chance to do it, and she looked pretty good at the collegiate level too.
Absolutely, and again, those single season records by Gettle, we got an assist. They're pounding up on those, and Berger with single season records for, I think the number there is 45 goals scored in the season by former Andover Huskies. So she's closing in on that with her 41st goal here today. They're going to drop the puck. The Huskies will be moving left to right. This time from the beautiful venue of the Xcel Energy Center, as this squad for the Huskies playing like professionals. And Brown sends it across, high slot, picking it up. Gettle with the blast here, and this one moves to the wide. Brown gathers it in, back to Berger. Berger tries to find it. Now it's on the stick of Gettle. No one out in front of the net just yet. Pinching in here is Kasich. Kasich rings it to the corner. Rosemount tries to control it, rolls off of their stick without even looking. They send it off the board, and here's a chance on a breakaway. This is Stamo. Stamo stops, wants to go across. A backhand into the chest that time of Stegman as she is squared away. Technique straight and perfect, as always, with Stegman. Back the other way. The Huskies are going to try to generate as Gettle behind the net, looking to find someone coming off the bench. Finally sends it cross ice to the far point, and that time she locates Little. Little passes it to herself to the corner, now picks it back up at the near corner. Out inside, here's a shot from Mac Jones with a blistering shot. Misses the net, but pinching in is Sauer. Sauer behind the net, roaming and trying to find someone to dish it to there. She drops it for Mac Jones, sends it across at the far point. A shot here, missed that time by by Little. Just over the top. This will be sent back length to the ice. They wave off any icing. 15:30 to go. Both teams get a good look to start this second period, Jim.
Yes, Stramel with a great breakaway, but Berger with just incredible speed to get back there and help break that up.
And then she got it lifted on that backhand to the midsection of Stegman. Stegman playing well again here tonight. They hadn't had a whole lot of shots, but we're going to get ourselves a look at a power play here for Rosemount once again as the Huskies take down one of the Irish players, and with 15:07 to go.
Mac Jones will go to the box. They'll call it, I'm sure, interference, but just player out in front took her out. I mean, it was a good call.
Got her stick underneath that armpit and launched it, and they call it interference. So second power play opportunity for the Irish, but that's not always a benefit for some of the teams that the Huskies play. They see it as an advantage and they attack, and they see more ice to play with. That's those 14 shorthanded goals. This one, clearing attempt, ends up on goal, forcing there a save by Ken Hammer. Now the Irish try to come out clean, but when you got the speed of Gettle right on the doorstep, it rolls off the stick. Now they dump it back in, giving chase as C.C. Hansen. Hansen, 20 goals on the season, or 20 assists and 9 goals. It's cleared back out to neutral ice. Back there is Junker. Junker ahead now to Shandford. Shandorf sets it up, trying to get that power play going. C.C. Hansen drops it back, but that's a little too slow on the delay, trying to get it back out to neutral ice. And then behind the defender was Gettle, but the defender got to that puck and tie. That was Bartle. And it was a good shorthanded opportunity if I got beyond. But coming back is Berger. Oh, he's so dangerous in open ice. Berger heads to the bench. They're going to switch out their penalty kill. And Huskies move it, send it deep. Gettle heads to the bench, and fresh 4 penalty killers here for the Huskies. As mentioned, the Huskies, a very powerful and attacking penalty kill where they just don't sit in their zone waiting for you to come. They want to try to take advantage of the ice and the matchup opportunities. A race to the half wall ensues here, trying to hold the zone. A drop pass there. Bartle gets it to the top of the face-off circle, and it's dispensed length of the ice there by Andover and by Delich. So just 20 seconds left on the power play. Racing back, trying to get possession here. Good hustle. As I mentioned, that hustle is contagious on this team. Hannah Olsen got back there to try to get a piece of that puck. A wrister here, easily gloved. And just going to freeze it as Stagman, as she didn't quite have the grip on that puck that you like in the glove hand. And as she makes that save to freeze the puck, 7 seconds left on the power play for Rosemont.
Yeah, Rosemont has had 3 minutes and 53 seconds, and we just got their first shot on goal during that during that power play. So great kill so far by the Huskies.
Face off to the right of Stagman. This one almost all the way through. In fact, it got through. It was just wide of the mark. That's a chance now for McQuay as the Huskies back at full strength. They pass it themselves very often, and this time McQuay does the same thing. Or excuse me, that's a little. Of course, an older sister playing at a high level of college hockey as well. Drops it down below, trying to get a pass there. Unable to complete by McQuay. And skating out now with the opportunity is Stramal. Winger, backside, trying to cover up a backdoor opportunity. That was another good scoring opportunity for the Irish, diffused by a tremendous save by Stagman as she moves from that left crease to the right crease.
Yes, and right, Zoe Junker right there as Stagman gave up a big rebound. Good save and good recovery by Stagman.
On our way here today, we actually walked up with Zoe Junker's parents.
Yes.
And they were chatting about how excited they were about the Rosemount season and hoping that they could stay close enough with Andover. And a good discussion on, just 2 different brands really of hockey and just where the programs are at. Mum off the face-off gets it through neutral ice, just misses on a connection there to Brown, but Berger's going to get there as they bracket the puck. Berger near side sends it back to Brown, who's going to come over and help out. And Brown swings back out in front, digging it out, Berger, and the puck eludes that blue line, and Mum will reset. Mom also on her way to St. Thomas, not this year. He's got another year left with the Huskies. And then she will join Berger and a host of other Husky players there behind, including Clough. In front, Gettle gets a look, a pass, save, and a shot, and again another good save after the shot by Berger. This one's whistled over the top by Angelotti. She's got to feel under siege here at this point, does Ken Hammer, the goalie, for this Rosemont squad. Rosemont will try to skate out, but many times they say skate out, they're pretty exhausted. Here's Hansen, gets it back, top of the face-off circle. That shot is knocked down by the defense. As we have 11:30 to go in this second period. Still a 2-0 lead. Huskies have been close to ass out of Rosemont. A whistler this time by Berger, just off the goalie. Berger tries to hold the zone and stretch that stick, but they'll have to set back up on the blue line and whistle it back on in. It's Rosemont trying to work it out as they're collided and bracketed in on. And that pressure for the Huskies got to feel tight, as you've got to have a very accurate outlet pass in order to get out clean. At the blue line, deflected back out to neutral ice there by the Huskies to the Irish. The Irish now content with getting it to center ice, and Engler will get at it on a chase. Holding the point at the far side, there is Little. She drops it down below to Christensen. It gets by her stick defensively there. Trying to work it around is Sundgren for Rosemont. She tried to send it to the near side to Maggie Erickson. And Andover will hold the zone as Engler shuffles a backhand at the half wall. Little now takes this shot. Save, makes all the way through after that save, and conducted and guided down to the corner. After that save by Kenhammer. Back again, a good shot, but this time she'll hold on and freeze the puck. Well, Kenhammer. And from that, we'll have a face-off. 10:22 to go. Still 2-0 lead for the Huskies.
Yeah, Mac Jones there with a nice hard shot as she came into the wrister. Traffic out in front, and Kenhammer again comes in with a .915 save percentage, and that right now is up. She's increased that with this game so far as the Huskies have peppered her.
Huskies win that face-off. Kasich will ring it along the board. Not able to hold the zone, and the worst line is back out there again. And Shandorf, that's for Rosemont. Shandorf, Stramal, and also C.C. Hansen. They have combined for 36 goals this season as the top line for the Irish. They were on the ice when they got the game winner in the second overtime over Cretin-Durham Hall in the Section 3A AA championship game. There's a poke checked off the stick there of Thorson, but now to McQuay. McQuay will lob one and send one in, a bouncer that moves and misses the net. Pinching over on the corner along that far point, holding the zone is Mumm. Mumm has it down, picked up now Thorson. Thorson on the drop pass, gets it to Andrews. Piper Andrews reverses ice and sends it back to the corner. Trying to get over there in time to cover was McQuay, but it appears Rosemont, they will get it out to center ice and have it roll off their sticks. And Jim, that's another thing that you see with this Husky team when you see other teams. They have such good hands with that puck. And there's a blast, a one-time out there, a catch and release on the save made by Kenhammer, and puts it on the defensive stick as they try to get it out before the Huskies can get set up for that bracketing defense. And that trap down below, here's Brown. She tries to take it with her behind the net. Lifted back out. Dillage is here. A good look, crossing away. A little tic-tac-toe shot whistled over the top. That may have gotten the shoulder of Kenhammer there on that whistler by Berger. Berger out in front again. Now it's Gettle scores. Top shelf. She puts it with the peanut butter. Gettle lights the lamp for the Huskies, and they go up 3-0 with 8:39 to go. A beautiful feed and tape-to-tape execution.
Yeah, Madison Brown below the net. I was just going to comment how well this first line could play, deep. And Gettle was left alone out front. She had a chance to pick where she wanted to shoot, and she put it for her sixth state tournament goal and her 23rd of the season.
Boy, that was just a tremendous tape-to-tape pass, and as close to a one-timer as you can get without it being a one-timer. Just a great technique, but a pass that was perfect. And we said last year, and one thing I enjoyed with Brown last year as well was the number of assists she could generate. Gettle, goal number 23 on the season for her. And meanwhile, it was Madison Brown with a dime and the assist. Last season, Brown had 25 goals, 36 assists, 61 points. So she had the shoulder injury this year, so she's only played about half of the schedule. Back comes Berger now to try to put a shot on. This season now she's got 17 goals and 21 assists, counting the 2 she's already had today. We called her the dime distributor last year, and she's starting to build that portfolio again. Huskies outside the blue line, bring it back in. That's the first wave back out there. Penalty coming up on the Irish as Gettle goes to the ice. A tripping penalty here for Rosemont. They'll call a slash. And the Huskies get a chance to extend this lead now to 4-0 as they go on the power play.
Yeah, second assist went to Ella Berger. That's her second point of the game. Maddie Brown with the first assist. That's her second point of the game as well. You can see right here, Gettle just takes a tumble as she tried to get through a couple of sticks.
They'll take the draw, and this will be to the left here of Kenthammer. Huskies booted out, so Sauer is going to take this draw. That was Christensen who was moved from that faceoff. Able to hold the zone. Nice work. Send it back to the corner. Andover sets it up. That was Little who held the zone. Gloving it. Now moving it down. Sauer tries to go 5-hole. Follows up. Another swat at it, and that clears to the half wall. Getting there first, Andover. Coming back over to help with the secondary coverage there is Mac Jones. It's jammed up against some skates by Mac Jones. Finally, it gets just beyond the blue line. Huskies will have to reset. And that's Sauer. Drop pass to Christensen. Christensen now takes the puck to the corner. Out in front looking for an opportunity. There's Dunleavy. Trying to find Dunleavy as she's trying to screen out front. Moving from one side to the other. A deflection on the doorstep. Catching it clean. And minimizing the rebound that time for the faceoff was Kenthammer.
I think we need to maximize the amount of saves and how important Natalie Kenthammer has been for the Irish, not giving up that rebound with two Huskies just on the doorstep.
1:14 left on the power play. Andover, 3-0 lead coming in. Out to Engler at the near point on the doorstep. A backhand just misses by Brown. Brown collides and tries to corral the puck there. Engler has it. Near side, now drops it to the near point. Mumm, a backhander, shuffles it over to the far point. Berger's got a look here, and this Whistler goes over the top of the net, but still controlled by Engler. Andover still with plenty of time on that power play, 40 seconds left. And the feed trying to get a little quick tape pass on a cutter in front to Berger, but that was disrupted. Back down to Berger. She'll get it. She'll whack on the back door through the crease. Just missed by centimeters for that fourth goal as Brown regathers the puck. She comes out to the side. Shot from the dot to the face-off circle. That caroms back to the corner, and now it's Engler. Engler resets. With 20 seconds left on the man advantage. Up top, Engler. And the umbrella formation here. Shot initially there. Gettle. Berger was looking to clean it up for the goal, but it's sent to the corner here. Huskies just bracket. They were relentless. Moving back in again. Drop pass here to Gettle. Gettle with a shot and a score for the Huskies. Beautiful setup as Gettle came in, settled the puck at the dot, and cutting on that back door was Engler. And Maya Engler picks up her 17th goal of the season, and the Huskies' fourth goal here now this afternoon.
Wow, this first line of the power play is this first unit is so good. You put Engler in there, and Engler has just been sensational. She's camped right on that back door, as you mentioned. Great pass, and really started by Berger. Berger was the one who really kind of was able to get that going, and right on the back door is Engler. Beautiful goal.
But there's so much movement as well. That's what I enjoy about the power. There's not one person just standing there waiting for it and then cutting. There's motion, and getting that race to the puck first in that corner.
Yeah, here comes the Huskies again. Piper Andrews with a shot, and that goes wide, and Huskies still controlling it in their own zone right now as the Huskies lose the puck, and a trip coming up to the Huskies as Piper, I believe that was Piper Andrews. Nope, that we'll see who that is, but another penalty coming up to the Huskies on a trip right now here with 5:31 left, Joe.
Gettle on the assist. I think, is that the third assist for Gettle here? I know she's got a goal and 2 assists at least, but she likes to really position it around that face-off dot where she'll take some shots, and that time she saw Engler cutting in that backside as getting a look at the official score here. Power play opportunity here for the Irish. 5.5 to play. They're down by 4, and Andover able to lift the puck past that far point.
Yeah, Gettle and Berger again. Berger's third point. Gettle's third point. Engler's first goal.
So a goal for Gettle and 2 assists. back behind, and stopping that puck is Ken Hammer. And now the Irish will try to get some mojo going here late in this second period. They're down 4-0. Top of the face-off circle, trying to set it up. That first line is out there. They've got some scoring ability as well and juice. It goes between the skates on the pass in that mid-slot to CC Hansen. Huskies force that pressure and then force the puck out to neutral ice. Resetting here is Junker. She tries to move it in. Instead, hits the skate of the defender there, and Hansen, Aubrey Hansen, and not really able to get that face-off set up. And that's just tough to get a shot when you can't get that extra player advantage set up, as Irish are forced back behind their own goal. And Snippus now brings it in on the far wing. She skates it in, takes behind, gets around Mac Jones, tries to put it between the post and the pad, and it hit the post. Good effort there by Snippus, but having it squared away was Stagman, as she was technique strong there. Sent length of the ice this time by Brown, and still 30 seconds left on the power play, as the Huskies right now doing some puck hunting on the penalty kill. Again, they see it as an opportunity to attack and take advantage of that open ice.
Yeah, Snippus with a nice run there. She's got some good size, offsides, good size, and love to see her get more involved with this Irish offense and penalty kill. Hey, Joe, I want to give a shout out to my nieces down at Rosemount High School, both Bailey and Brooklyn Childs. They are attending the Rosemount High School, and wish them well.
Nice. Are they here today?
No.
Okay, enough said. Good talk. Good
Yes,
talk. We
yes.
have a shot coming from that power point by CC Hansen, trying to follow it up on a pass to the crease. It ends up on the stick of Brown. Long lead pass across the ice. Here comes Engler going in for that shorty attempt, and she has that puck poke checked off of her stick. And I wasn't sure if I saw that arm go up, but I think they're just going to reset the net, as both teams now at full strength. Another successful penalty kill here for Andover. And we'll get a face-off of 3:28 to go in the Irish end of the ice. Thanks for joining us. And what has now become officially the afternoon, Thursday afternoon lights on QCTV in this audio-only presentation, as the Rosemont Irish taking on the Andover Huskies in the quarterfinals of the 2023 Girls State Class AA tourney. Off there, some more pressure, face-off controlled. Now the Huskies hold the zone. Mac Jones with that big shot, but sends a pass across the way, and McQuay that time just a little bit tangled up and late getting to that open puck. In the corner now, coming over to kind of create some energy in the corner for the Huskies is Hannah Olsen. She had a goal in the section play. Back out, McQuay, and now it's lifted. Here's that first line. Look out, she's dangerous. Shandorf is going to try to put a backhand on the stick here, and it's lifted, tangled up, and I'm trying to find the puck right now. It's in the face-off. It's between the skates there, finally, of Junker, Zoe Junker. Thorson has it. Shields off to defender, reverses ice a couple of times, makes that look easy, but now it's pickpocketed back the other way from Holzer. Holzer has it, but she has to wait for her teammate to get back onside, and as a form of punishment, she fires the puck into her teammate who is in offside, and they get the whistle.
Yeah, and boy, I tell you what, you could see that that first line can break out. The Huskies are just so, and I've used this a bunch with the Huskies. They're suffocating. They just are so quick to close.
2:21 to go, second period. The Huskies have doubled up on their 2-0 lead they had at the end of the first period. 4-0. Breakout here, misses behind, and I'll tell you, that speed, it's the old anxiety goes up, IQ goes down. When you're putting that much pressure and clamping down and you're playing at such a fast pace, boy, it takes you into just kind of a reactive component, which does two things. You don't get a chance to score as much, and you burn twice the amount of energy. There's Gettle trying to pepper and work around, taken off of her stick and move just beyond the blue line. That first line for the Huskies will reset, touch that blue line, and come back in on the attack. Lifted, pickpocketed there. Here's Brown moving in, dropping it on the doorstep between the skates. Scores! Gettle with her second, and another dime by Brown. And the Huskies, have jumped out to a nickel-nothing lead with 93 seconds left in the second period.
Well, that was, what we were just talking about right on cue. The Huskies forecheck. Gettle gets in there. She makes a defenseman move a little bit faster than she wants. Berger comes in, takes it away, gets it to Brown, and Gettle puts it down, puts it back in the back of the twine. Again, good finish by this first line.
And you know what I enjoy about the first line is it's not an all adoration type of day, but they have three different styles.
Mm-hmm.
Three different styles, three different sizes. And I like the fact that Gettle sees her size as an advantage, because I can kind of relate to that.
There's hope for both of us, right?
You get the angles that she can't, and her speed and the ability and the leverage, but also Berger, she can fly as well. The bottom line, the consistent algorithm they have is they can all outright fly.
Yep.
And they can also close, as you've seen here already in the second period. Penalty now again being whistled as Irish will go to the gate. The sin bin as a tripping penalty.
Well, boy, I can't figure out why they whistled that down, because the Huskies had control of that puck.
There you can see
maybe there was
maybe
there was a touch up there, but the Huskies had control of the puck. So, number 2 for the power play. 1 minute and 3 seconds left. The Huskies got a chance to, put up a 6 and have running time going into that third period.
Number 25 whistled for that trip for Rosemount. And they can ill afford to be a player down here. Down already 5-0. Top of the face-off circle, it crossed away. Gettle's pass across, disrupted by Cece Hansen, but she regains possession of the puck, does Gettle. Back behind. There was a shot, hits the post. That was a shot by Berger. She gets a quick stick down and puts one on. Berger digs it free into the corner. She'll send it to the near corner here, and pinching in, there is Engler. Engler picked up the last power play goal for the Huskies, and the assist by Gettle. Huskies can't control, and now trying to commandeer that puck down deep is Cece Hansen and take some time off the penalty kill. We have just 15 seconds left in period number 2, and Andover has opened us up to a 5-0 lead. It's Mum who sets it behind the net. Brown will have it there. 5 seconds left in the corner. Engler sends it up to Gettle. Gettle wants to send a shot here. She does, and she scores for the hat trick. 3 goals here in the second period alone. And Gettle lights the lamp, unless it was deflected in front. We'll get clarity on that before it's official. But with just 1.3 seconds left, the Huskies strike again, and they're up. Boxcars, nothing. 6-0.
Maddie Brown with the deflection there. Gettle again with another point. Shot in from the point, and Maddie Brown with an outstanding deflection gets that to a half dozen here late in the about as late as you can get here in the second period.
1.3 seconds. They will drop the puck, and the Huskies will take a 6-0 lead into the locker room after 2 complete. And Jim Wood then only scored those 4 goals more to take a lead to 6-0. But it's just the ways in which they do it, the activity of this team, that motion is that, and it's a controlled motion.
Yeah, and they're just right now they're playing with a lot of confidence out there. You can see the first line knows where they're going to be at. The second line's coming in there and putting almost as much pressure as that first line. And you've seen good activity by McQuay, Piper, and or Andrews and Thorson on that third line. And then we've had we've seen some good stuff from Dunleavy in her shift and Hannah Olsen as well. They're really playing well right now.
The Huskies will start this third period running time here in the quarterfinals. 6-0 lead for Andover. It has become not only the greatest game on ice, it's also the fastest game on ice for the Andover Husky girls, trying to set up a repeat for the Class 2A state championship. On their way here, we'll return for third period action. Andover 6, Rosemount nothing after 2 complete. Back at the Excel Energy Center, Joe Rulin along with Jim Childs. We thank CJ and Ryan back at the studio. Taylor here to our left in this QCTV sports presentation. Audio only, video coming to a theater near you very soon. And I'll tell you, you'll want to see the video of this latest reel as the Huskies have jumped out to a 6-0 lead, Jim, after two complete. Can you get us a recap as we look at the stats here from the second period?
Yes, so shots on goal, 34-7 in favor of the Huskies. This is an amazing stat. Shot attempts, 61-11. So 50 more shot attempts in the first two periods by the Huskies. Penalties 3-4 in favor of the Huskies, and power plays in favor 2-0. Power play goals in favor of the Huskies 2-0 out of that. And they did have one coincidental minor. They're 100% on their power play. Face-offs, wins 21-12, and block shots 13-2 in favor of the Irish. So they are winning that. But the most important stat of all is the goals. 6-0 coming out of the second period. Goals scored by the Huskies in the second period. Issa Gettle started at 8:20 of the second period. Even strength goal assisted by Brown and Mac Jones. And then Maya Engler got into it on a power play goal with Gettle and Berger. And then Gettle tallies another one at 15:27 with assisted by Madison Brown. And then Maddie Brown gets on the scoring sheet with a goal late in the third period, a power play goal late in the third period, as they were able to score 1.3 seconds left, assisted by Gettle and Berger. And that kind of wraps up the scoring. 6-0 right now. Stegman looking for her third shutout at the state tournament level. And Joe, looking for a good start to the third period for the Huskies.
Well, that was certainly a signature goal for Andover near the end of that second period on that tip, as that Gettle, Berger, and Brown line, that shall we say Gettle, Brown, Berger joint, continues to work well in that chemistry, and they continue to accumulate record-breaking numbers. But it was just that tip, looking for that tip. They know what they're going to get from Gettle or from Berger or from Brown or anyone else at that point. They're going to put it in a spot where they know that they could potentially tip that thing. And boy, well done by Brown. And I'll tell you, the one thing is that they keep that flow of the play. Some say, hey, if you shut that first down line, you know what? The second and the third line have been watching, and that first line's been modeling how to be successful and how to be a force on offense for the last 3 years. And that starts to rub off, and it becomes a habit for the rest of the team as well. And the second and third lines are just as much a force as the first. And meanwhile, you got the defense, the blue liners, who can move the puck quicker than a hiccup and control it, not have it bouncing off of their stick. And then, of course, you have an adequate goaltender in Courtney Stagny with 70-4 career record. A 70-4 career record goes against a .93, 33 shutouts. Outstanding. Yeah. I kid when I say adequate. A little Joe humor. Off the face-off now. Third period. Running time underway here. The Irish. Let's see if they can get a spark going here. First line making a move down near side. They send it behind the net. That was put in place there by C.C. Hansen. Holding the zone a little too far off the skate. That's just another example of that speed coming up to close up causes different things. There's Berger, tries to get a tip on a pass across the way there from Gettle. Back the other way. A look at Schandorf, who puts a shot on. Stegman makes the save. And I'll tell you, sometimes it's more difficult when you haven't seen a lot of shots to come up with those sharp saves. Gettle across the way, tries to get a tip. Another one back to Berger, just missing, holding the zone. Right inside the blue line is Mac Jones. She'll send it behind Sauer. Tries to take the ball or the puck to the far corner. It's deflected and moved up ice here now by Rosemount. Their second line is in. Holzer will be there first. A look at it there is Annalie Holzer. 11 goals, 9 assists on the season. Looking for one here in this third period. They trail 6-0, the Irish in the blue. Looking for that first goal. Trying to settle the puck, and now it's Erickson. Sends it up near center ice. Off the stick, and now the Huskies control. Mac Jones has it there. Delage. And coming back to help out as well is Engler. Holzer doing a nice job of applying some pressure for the Irish, and behind the play we get a whistle, and we are going to get
a penalty coming up to Engler.
Correct.
On a hook. I believe it'll be a hook. And, rough.
A roughing penalty, and picked up there. Kind of a subtly one, but give them a chance here on that power play for Rosemount. I believe this is their third run on the power play today for the Irish. Andover 2 for 2 on the penalty kill as they get things going here. The Irish will set it up behind their own goal. That's Junker. Has it taken away. Doorstop. Shot a goal. Oh, my, a feed. As Junker tried to move it out, she was pressured. And a feed right on the doorstep for the Huskies, and Gettle collects the hat trick on a shorty. Their 15th shorthanded goal of the season. Still 1:25 in time, continuing to move, and a 7-0 lead.
You know, Berger is so fun to watch. He is so good on that forecheck. And you mentioned the chemistry between. She knew where Gettle was. Gettle was perfectly placed right on the doorstep on the back door. Great pass. And, again, another goal for the Huskies, another shorthanded goal for the Huskies.
And it's just an expectation. They expect their teammates. They know they're going to be there. They know they'll have the speed. They know the mindset, how they function. And so now Rosemont, when I said 1:27 and counting, I meant the penalty was still in play because of the running time. We're under 14 to play already here in this third period, the 7-0 lead for Andover, and I did not get the assist. Is that Berger, I thought?
Yeah, it's Berger. Yeah, Berger got the assist.
So the Berger joint connects again with Gettle, and Junker that time a little, maybe too passive coming out behind the net. Now on the power play still existing. Holzer tries to get it in here. A shot off the pad as Kasich tries to seal off the fire. Pass up to the slot using that skate. Mac Jones settles the puck and sends it length to the ice. 15 seconds left on this third power play opportunity of the afternoon for the Irish. The Irish came in with a record of 15-11-2. Representing Section 3 AA. 7-0 lead now for Andover with a shorthanded goal by Gettle, a hat trick for her on the afternoon. Moving it up ice and again weaving through, gaining the blue line. Now a back here, a pass and a drop back behind. Into the corner, dusted away and moving it on. And up a little bit more. A chance back to the corner. The Huskies will get there first. That's Kasich. Kasich chips it ahead. Center ice and ripped back in this time by the Irish and Junker. Pass ahead as the Huskies break out. And those are the things you maybe take for granted with this Husky team. A clean breakouts. It's not only a good pass tape to tape, but the good hands moving in. Junker again. She's pickpocketed there, then bracketed. Coming over to try to help out is Shandor, but now the Huskies coming back. Abby McQuay puts a shot that's deflected by the defender in front. It rolls its way to the corner. Piper Andrew has control, drops it back to McQuay, back to Andrews. At the near point here, Angeletti puts a shot on, finds its way in front, still loose, holding the zone. The Huskies there. Mumm whistles one and hits the skate of a defender in front. Mumm goes chasing after that puck, well behind the puck. Or well behind the net, and now here's to the near corner. They continue to hold possession. Both teams are at full strength. Angelotti's going to get a look here. That time she put that shot right into the protector there. There's a shot, hits the skate out in front. The shot by Mumm. Huskies still buzzing as Andrew has his now. Piper Andrew drops it down below to the corner, and that's to McQuay trying to send it out front. Loose puck and a score for the Huskies. Mumm collects her first goal of this state tournament, and they just kept buzzing. Relentless, Jim.
Outstanding. This is that third line. This is Thorson, McQuay, and Andrews out there, and they looked as good as the first line, keeping the puck deep, looking out front, looking for Mumm, and Mumm really kind of was the glue that kept that whole shift together. But long possession for the Huskies and ended up with a goal.
Mumm gets into this scoring formula this time in terms of a goal scorer. And you can just start to see, we had said, you wonder with this Rosemont team, what they'll look like midway through that second period, because the Huskies just have that ability, that endurance, that speed to wear you down. We've seen it for the last 5 years, and now it just hits Rosemont, as now they're down by 8 with 10:20 to go. Here in this third period, Huskies will be advancing to semifinal play, and that will take place tomorrow night at 6 o'clock. Backhand through the crease, coming back, another shot here taken by Little, and it's secured by Ken Hammer. I was also trying to look at the shots on goal at the same time. I think it to be 38 shots on goal to 9 in favor of the Huskies.
Yeah, and we've got that fourth line out there right now with Olsen, Krause, and Dunleavy, and they're possessing the puck very well as well.
And some of that too. It's just that all the players out there for those opposing teams are just they're getting worn down, time after line after shift, every minute. Here's a chance near side. Little has it. She'll send it back to the corner. Back behind the net there is trying to hold court, put it back out front, Andover, but now the Irish will carry out. Cross center ice. This is Munson, Holly Munson. She had it momentarily, and that's kind of been the way of this game. Unable to really sustain possession play for this Irish team from Rosemont. Picking it up in the blue line, skating in. Here's a good look past the puck. There's a front line, first line coming in there, trying to dodge that last puck. A good scoring opportunity there for Schandorf, and stymied and turned away by Stagman, and then cleaned up by the defensive crew of the Huskies. Gaining the line, dipping it in, going deep. That first line back out there. Stramal, 14 goals, 19 assists. Again, she had the game winner in their section final win over Cretin-Durham Hull. 38 seconds into the double overtime, but thus far today, that front line's been shut out. Almost jumping on that loose puck is Sauer. Sauer had the first goal of the game for the Huskies today here in that first period. A shot from that far point that found its way to the back of the net. Into the corner here, now still with it. Sauer will pick it up. Hands it over to Christensen. Christensen now guides it up, drops the puck there. Moving it in again. And now had a look on a bouncing puck, unable to settle that puck. It hopped the stick of Christensen. Back again, Kasich. They're going to call a hand pass on Kasich. And we'll bring on a whistle with running time. 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go in this third period. And Andover advances to the semifinals. What some think will be against Edina.
Yeah, we'll go through. We need to go through the schedule, but right now, Joe, the Huskies since sectional play has started, they've outscored the opponents 37-3 in 3 and 2/3 games, a little over almost 4 games. Really, almost averaging 10 goals a game, as they have really dominated so far on their mission to repeat.
Mac Jones ahead to Gettle. Gettle, long pass ahead to Berger. Berger tries to put a swat on. No, she regathers. Circles behind the net. Gets a better looking shot here. And the stick of a defender came right at Berger at the time she took that shot. It's good focus. There's Berger again. She tried to pass it down below to Brown, as she had a couple of the Irish players closing in on her. And they are going to call a goal. I think they're calling it a goal on Berger as they're pointing to the net.
Yeah, they are, yes. And nobody's celebrating. It's
just good stick-to-itiveness there by Berger.
Yes.
And you could see that they were watching it so closely. It was like watching that puck on Caddyshack as it all goes in, and finally it just crosses the line. The pass was initially set for Brown. You could see it was put there. She kept chiseling at it. It was still loose.
She's getting
and maybe that wasn't Berger. It was another Husky player that came in late.
Let's see. We've got the overhead view right now, and she's pounding right. Berger gets put to the ground.
And Gettle will probably get credit for that goal.
Yeah, somehow it gets past. We'll see what it is, but it is nonetheless it's a good goal. I think they're going to take a look at it to see. The whistle obviously didn't blow since they called it a goal, but one of the great things about the state tournament is that they have the NHL system for replay. and they're doing that right now as we get a chance to take a look at that.
This is the only time I've seen the clock stop here in this third period. Been running time since the puck dropped to begin this third period. An 8-0 lead. And Andover looking to get ready for that next layer as we take a look. I don't know if we have that set for a look at the
brackets?
Brackets as it is. And the Huskies about ready to take home a win this afternoon. And they are the number 2.
As you can see right there, the bracket right now. The next game, the 1 o'clock game, will be Edina and Lakeville North. Lakeville North, a random draw. So they seed the first 5, and then they have a random draw for the last 3. So Edina, Lakeville North. Tonight will be Moorhead. The first game will be Centennial, Spring Lake Park against Minnetonka. Minnetonka is a strong team. And then Moorhead and Gentry, the 4 and 5 matchup, will be the 8 o'clock game tonight. And they just wave out the goal. Joe?
Hey, that if things fold this way they may have, nothing against your Spuds from Moorhead. But it might be interesting to watch Gentry and Minnetonka go at it in the semifinals if that's how things pair out. And again, that would be awesome.
It'd be great to see the Spuds in there too. No goal. It's still 8-0.
We're at 8. Shot and almost picking up that 9th goal again right there on our blistering shot. Fire point, top of the circle. This one, a whistler that hits traffic out in front. Mum gathers it again. Now it's Karen back up. Deflected. And now Andover takes it to the corner. Rosemount just trying to clear. They cannot. Mum gets there in time to send it back behind the net. Huskies will give it a chase. And that's Dunleavy behind there. Now trying to put a backhand in. Pacey Krause also getting into the action with a shot. And then that's a follow-up by Dunleavy on the other side. Dunleavy goes back behind the net to try to keep that puck alive. And at the near wall here, it's trying to be chased down there by Mum. Both teams are at full strength. As Piper Andrew collides there with a Rosemont player. Rosemont sends it just beyond the blue line. And Angeletti sends it back in there again. Angeletti here playing well, one of those freshmen. And the Huskies just continue to develop a lot of championship teams coming through the ranks. In other words, through that. So Huskies trying to extend their winning streak here tonight. Looks like they will, Jim.
Yeah, and they're Stagman's trying to get that shutout as she has an opportunity, and we've got a good opportunity here, 2-on-1, the Huskies, and Andrews puts one over the net.
You're pretty confident when you mention that word shutout. With 4 minutes left to go, it's like that no-hitter curse as they get ready here. Andover again finding their way, getting things into a zone, and finding their mojo early here in that first period, and they just continue to grind down one team after another. 3:55 to go. Andover again looking to extend that 12-game win streak. It appears they will as they head to the semifinals tomorrow night. Moving in now, here's the chance for the Irish. A drop pass, and I tell you what, this just represents the never stop play in the eyes there as Berger came all the way back. They all play a full sheet of ice and got the pickpocket as she was getting ready to make a cut in the pass and lost her edge there. 3:20 picked up, now skating in. Trying to get a look here, and a nice save by Stegman. She gets a couple of quick saves as the Irish try to buzz the net. Over skating there for a while. Kasich, she sticks with it. Recircles in her own corner and now moves it up ice. A long lead pass misses. This was Gettle to Berger, and they'll get the ice.
So a couple of things, Joe, as far as we look at the stats today, Gettle and Berger both have 5 points. Pretty impressive. Maddie Brown has 13 shot attempts, and Gettle and Berger had 13 shot attempts. In one game, they've had 13 shot attempts. So Gettle with the hat trick. Brown's got 4 points. Jones has 3 assists. Pretty impressive afternoon for the Huskies.
Controlled here on the flop and trying to move it out. Sent into the bench after that maneuver by Haley Dunleavy. 2 goals, 5 assists on the season. As Olsen gets ready to take this draw just outside the Husky blue line. It's 2 minutes remaining in this third period, an 8-0 lead for Andover. They started this period with running time as it was 6-0. Just a goal with 1.3 seconds left in that second period on a power play goal. That got them their 6th goal, hence the running time as they drop the puck to begin the third. Thanks for joining each and every one of you this afternoon. It's a pleasure to bring you this type of level of hockey. As I mentioned, it's one of the best shows on ice as you get a chance, both the boys and the girls. Dunleavy off the board, puts a pass on the backhand. Dunleavy back of the net and tucks that into the sock drawer for a goal.
Oh, what a play by Dunleavy. He was able to get around the defense then against Ken Hammer, who's been outstanding today. Even though she's let in 9 goals, was able to dangle her way, go to the backhand, and great individual effort by Haley Dunleavy.
She shoves that forehand and then tucks that thing low into the sock drawer, into the corner. And Dunleavy picks up her 3rd goal of the season, and that was a masterful move. Good stick work. And Andover now up 9-0 as we're under a minute to play in this third.
Joe, you did a game yesterday with 15 goals. This one with 9. I think there's a little mojo coming with goal scoring for your calls.
That it is, and of course that was Warroad, who Andover, Warroad, the number 1 team in Class A. They're trying to go on and defend their state title as well, and their only 3 losses this season for Warroad have come against Andover. And along with, I believe, Hill Murray is one of the others as well. But that's a testament to Andover going up to Warroad just a couple weeks ago and doubling them up and scoring and getting the win.
Yeah, scoring 8 goals against the number 1 team and is pretty impressive as we are now under 20 seconds.
Andover will take home a quarterfinal win on this 2023 girls state high school Class AA. Quarterfinal matchup against the Rosemount Irish. Congratulations to the Irish in their season. And Jim, just a quick recap from your thoughts on today's game.
Great balanced scoring. That first line is going to be tough to contain the rest of this tournament. The winner of the Edina Lakeville North will have their hands full, whoever it is. And we're looking forward to coming back tomorrow night for this presentation again on QCTV.
Well, and hey, as the hockey season gets longer, I know I've said it many times before, but the Husky season and the Huskies get stronger. If you talk to Melissa Volk and you say, hey, Coach, you just got win 210, she'd say, Joe, stop it. We've got more games to play. That number's irrelevant, but it's impressive. 210 wins now for Melissa Volk. It's the 26th win of the season versus 3 losses for the Huskies. And more importantly, it's a shutout for Courtney Stegman as well, as she has posted now her 34th career shutout and her 12th of the season. And her career record now goes to 71-4. And meanwhile, 26-3 this season. And congratulations to the whole Husky squad and all the supporters as the Huskies have a convincing win tonight at the Excel Energy Center in the quarterfinals of the 2023 girls quarterfinal state tournament. 9-0. Thanks for joining us, for Joe Rulin, and also for Jim, and also for Ryan and CJ back at the studio along with Taylor. Thanks for joining us on this QCTV sports presentation. Have yourself a major league day at a minor league price.